Jesus is coming back, it's not going to look pretty for those that don't believe.
But it's people who are starving, trapped by the radiation, and have no food.
How do you protect yourself a little bit from the radiation for those 3 days?
But what if someone lives like, you know, in downtown Los Angeles or, you know, New York City? Folks, you will be silenced because they do not, the deep state, the Antichrist does not want you and I to tell the truth. Say, go to davidhebner.tv. I want you to look at this. Got 20 channels of truth. Okay, I want you to go sign up right now, davidhebner.tv. We got the Spotlight channel. You can see we got John B. Wells, What Will Happen to America, right here. Witches Cast a Spell on Christianity. We got the New Release channel, the Most Watched channel, Spiritual Warfare Training channel, Alien Demon Connection channel, Mind Control, Originals, Anxious Depressed, Coming Holocaust, Bible Study channel. Folks, listen, I want you to go sign up right now, davidhebner.tv. Whoever calls on me, calls on the name of the Lord. This hit me. It could, and I want to hear you guys, you chime in on this. This could be very last moment, very last second that many people won't call on God. They're going to run for the hills. They're going to hide. They're going to say, oh, you know, help me, God, but not really crying out to God. They're saying, somebody help me. But there are going to be people, Everett, and you guys out there that are going to look. I believe that is you, God. I'm calling to you. Do you believe in these last seconds, Everett, in the last moments, last seconds, that God can claim those souls in a twinkling of an eye, that their names are written in the book of life just at that last moment? Is that possible?
Well, I see the harvest being described in Matthew 13. The earth is the field, wheat and tares are growing together until the time of the harvest. The enemy that sowed the bad seed is the devil, and the weeds represent the children of the devil. And
right.
When, the word when is $1 billion word I keep focusing on. When it's harvest time, first there's a process. First, gather the weeds in bundles to be burned. So I began to realize when we see smoke-filled skies, the day of the Lord is happening, armies are attacking, cities are being blown up. Sodom and Gomorrah, 2 Peter 2:6, the Lord condemned Sodom and Gomorrah, made them an example of what's going to happen to the ungodly. I started to realize modern cities might get blown up, but how is it happening only to the ungodly? Oh, that would be because it's going to happen at night. Jeremiah 6 said they're planning to attack at noon. The daylight fades, shadows grow long, so they have to make it a night attack. In Reno, where I've been today, an hour away, the shopping mall's completely full of cars at noon, but in the middle of the night, everybody's gone. Everything's empty. And so when the population's at the lowest levels is when the cities burn.
Wow. But Everett, what can we do now? What can we do?
Well, the stories are examples. I'm going to show you this scripture right here. This is Isaiah. I discovered it. It says, "Come, my people, enter your rooms, close your doors and windows, and hide yourselves for a little while." They had what was called the Passover, where they put in the blood of the lamb on the doorpost. They stayed inside until the plague passed over. There's going to be a plague of sickness pass over. You want to hide yourselves. Come, my people, enter your rooms, close your doors and windows, hide yourselves. If you wake up in the middle of the night and there's no light from the moon, and suddenly in the middle of the night, it's a bright light flashing, nuclear bombs are going off, you might even feel an earthquake, the Richter scale going off, cities were being blown up. You want to hide yourself. You want to hunker down, shut your door and window, have your food supply, and just be holed up because the plague is going to pass over. The black smoke-filled skies will pass over like they did in Egypt.
It'll pass over God's people. But what if someone lives like, you know, in downtown Los Angeles or, you know, New York City or some other, you know, godless, I mean, what does it matter where you are? I mean, not everybody, Everett can get an RV and head to the hills, though my wife now wants to do that. But what do we do if we're not in a good area? Can the plague still pass over us?
So what are you going to do?
Yeah.
If you're in a city, you might want to have a shelter, a basement, a bomb shelter, and have a lot of food stocked up. And you could actually hunker down in that city with everything in the city blown up and radiation everywhere. You don't have to go out because you're not going to die of famine because you have food in your bunker for 390 days.
You know, you said something, and I've read it a million times. When the plague comes over, just like it did in Egypt. And if we do what God tells us to do, whether that's, getting an RV, hunkering down the base, whatever God is telling, and I think God tells everyone individually what to do, depending on their circumstances.
If they're listening.
But if they're listening, but put blood over the doorpost, the angel of death would not enter. The Israelites obeyed. So no matter where you are, if you're listening and God speaks to you, and he will tell you exactly what to do. And it may be totally insane according to people. They may think you're crazy, right? But I believe no matter where you are, even if you don't have food, though you tried to get it, or maybe you weren't informed in time enough, I think supernaturally manna can fall from heaven, and God can actually take care of his people, because he promised he would do it. He didn't talk about the circumstances. He promised. Christy, you're up.
Why do you say 390 days of food?
Very good question. The answer is, and I had a good friend ask me that 20-some years ago, it's because the destruction's coming when summer's near. Joel 1, the farmers will be grieving over the loss of harvest out in the field. It's the Deuteronomy 28:24 curses on a nation turns away from the Lord. He turns the rain of the land into dust and powder. The crops are contaminated, and it happens before the harvest. But 390 days of food will carry you full circle around one annual cycle. You'll have a new spring planting. You'll have a new harvest coming forth from the ground 390 days later after the incident that fits Ezekiel 5, where it says what's coming's never been done before. And the good news is it's never going to happen again.
Do you all, yes or no, believe it's our duty to share with people these end times, meaning Jesus is coming back? It's not going to look pretty for those that don't believe, okay? Let me paraphrase it. If you don't know God, you're going to be toast. And I'm not saying tell people that, but if you don't know God, you're going to be on the wrong side. Do you believe that is our duty? Do you believe when Jesus said, heal the sick, raise the dead, cast out demons, preach the gospel? Was this part of that gospel supposed to preach? Let me know. Oh, Betty, you're on.
Hey there. Yes, I do believe that it is our duty, and we should want to. We're born again. I want to spread the word. It shouldn't be have to. I want to. There's a big difference, or must. Maybe we must, but I just want to. And I was going to ask him about the bomb shelters. What if you don't have a bomb shelter? How do you protect yourself a little bit from the radiation for those 3 days? I've heard if you put aluminum foil up, like in the windows and stuff, that could help, but I don't know how true that is.
If God tells you to do a specific thing, and he's talking to you individually, or me, I'm to obey that and do that, right? So if God's speaking to you about aluminum foil, and you really believe it's from God and not Reynolds wrap, then do it. I say do it. But people will laugh at you. I promise you, they will laugh at you. And I don't want to have to spend money on ordering a bombshell. If I don't have a bomb shelter, what can I do?
Well, when I analyzed Ezekiel 7 over and over for years, I realized the sword and the plague and famine are in the city, but not in the country. The sword is in the country. And then the mountains are wild beasts where bears and mountain lions have multiplied. So where you are located is the problem you want to focus on. Why would there be no sword in a city? It's been nuked. And nobody's walking in the streets because it's a radiation contaminated death zone. And so it's so totally still and quiet, and people alive in the city are down in a bunker, and it says the Father will eat the Son will eat the Father, because this is not God's people, but it's people who are starving, trapped by the radiation, and have no food. And if they choose to come out and forage for food, the radiation will kill them, but the plague is not contagious because it is not in the country. The country doesn't have a problem with famine or plague. In the country, it's the sword, which does say in this day the Lord is coming, it's going to be an EMP. It's going to be the grid goes down. There'll be no banking, no cell phone, no ATM. Everything stops. The whole power grid goes down.
If you're in the city, just stay where you are. In other words, if this happens, stay in your house. God will protect you if you're his child. Believe that in his protection. If you're in the country, you're not going to face the same situation. It's going to be lack of communication. You won't have power. Listen, we have the new End Times DVD. I investigates End Times investigation. I have a lot of my friends on here: Lisa Haven, Michael Lake. I have Josh Peck, L.A. Marzulli, Stephen Bancrofts. I mean, 8 hours of me investigating things like Satanism, demonic powers, Illuminati, New World Order, Antichrist, one world religion, end times miracles, Bible prophecy. Folks, let me tell you something. One day, what you're watching us on right now, it's called television, it's called social media, it's called the internet. They're going to turn that baby off. You need a hard asset. When all this stuff gets shut off, this is what you're going to be able to learn from and to understand. So I want you to text the word chosen to 91999 or go to davidheavener.tv/order or call 844-806-0006. The brand new DVD of Last Evangelist. You can get it right now. It's limited collector's edition. It's got the new episode on it, along with band videos with me and Michael Lake and Lisa Haven, Sheila Lazinski. Hey everybody, David here. Now, if you're enjoying the show, would you please consider becoming a monthly partner? Help me bring God's word to a dying world. You know, they need to hear the truth. And your donation will help do that. Please text the word chosen to 91999 or go to davidheavener.tv/give or call 844-806-0006. God bless you. And please don't forget my new books that are out, True Power and End Times Investigation. And you can get all this stuff there at davidheavener.tv/order. Hey everybody, I am honored and blessed not to have just one new book out, but 2 new books. That's right, 2 new books. The first one is End Times Investigation. I deal with Hollywood mind control. I deal with demon portals, the alien-demon connection, astral projection, program multiples, satanic ritual abuse, and much, much more. The things that I talk about in Last Evangelist and on my shows, all my interviews I do, it's right here in this book, especially my life story. Also, True Power, how to access your true power in these last days, okay? It's a war manual for God's children. We need to learn the enemy's tactics and how to battle the enemy in these last days. Pick up a copy of this book. Just text the word chosen to 91999, or you can go to davidheavener.tv/order, or you can simply call 844-806-0006.
How can people be a participant and help you bring the Last Evangelist story to the public?
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah. We set it up as the model like The Chosen, where you can go and donate. You can actually be the financier on it. You go to lastevangelist.com and you can donate. You can be an actor, you can be a producer, you can be, or just donate. Special thank you.